Okay, got a bad scenario for you. Water is pouring down from inside your house. Not a good situation. You're not sure where it's coming from, and then it's a lot. Okay, what do you do next? I'm David Lewis, Robert Koster with Mission Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Robert is our master plumber, knows a lot about the subject. So the question is what to do next when you've got water pouring down.
Right. So in our typical Houston market, you have a water service riser coming into the building, exposed on the outside. So on that riser,
basically a pipe.
It's a pipe. It's a riser pipe, and it's got a valve on it that, for the express purpose of killing the water going into the home, completely shuts it down. So here we have one. Pull the bushes back where we can see it.
This one's on the front of this house.
Right. This is on the front. You usually find them on the side. They typically try to hide them from view. But as you can see, it's got just a straight up and down handle. That handle also points the direction of flow typically. So as you see this one pointing up, the water's coming from down, flowing up into the home.
Okay.
It's very simple to shut it down. It's a quarter turn. You simply take it and push it down. We have now isolated the house from the water system, from the water service, and there will be no more water coming into the home at that point.
Okay.
There is another type of valve in past years that was commonly used called a gate valve. The gate valves over time tend to corrode and break. Okay. That type of valve does not have that handle you see. It's more like a wheel handle, and you turn it.
More like this one here.
It's similar to this, yes. So if you can see this one here, it's very similar to that. So you'll turn it. If you turn it and it keeps turning and turning, it's not working, and you won't have any water shut down. So at that point, your next step would be to go out to the water meter, and there's a shutoff valve out there that we can go show you.
This particular spot is typically on what locations? We got the front of the house here. What are the locations?
Usually it's on the side. Now it's sometimes if the water is looped in, which means it's looped by copper up into the house, you may find it in the pantry. You may find it in the master closet. Those are also in the garage. Those are the three other common areas. And there'll be a little box over it, usually with a little door. You look behind the door and there's your valve. So it's a good idea for homeowners to go through their home and find where that valve is, so that when you do need it, you're not frantically trying to find it. You know right where to go.
Before you have an accident, probably best
get
to
proactive.
Find this, right?
Get proactive, find your valve. It's a good thing to know as a homeowner where your valve is. Most people do know, but if you don't, it's a good idea to find it.
Perfect. So, and then the next step is, if that doesn't work, would be to go to the city main.
Go to the city main.
The correct tool, which I'm told is one of these.
This can be bought at the box stores. It's a valve key. It's called a water valve key. The city doesn't like you to turn off their valve, but they do understand. If you have an emergency situation, they're not going to give you any trouble about turning it off. They know that you can't just keep water pouring into your home. Typically, they don't want you to use that as the primary valve, but they do understand if it's 8 o'clock at night and your house is flooding, they're not going to give you trouble about going out and turning it off.
So let's go find that.
Okay.
And show them how to use it.
All right.
In the case that we couldn't shut down the water at the house itself, we have to go find the city meter. So we have walked from the front of the house over to the front of the property by the street. Typically, we're going to be looking for it in this area, right?
Normally, it's in the front of the house by one of the property lines, either the left or right side property line.
Yep. And so in this case, we actually have one.
It's right on the property line.
Where you can see the box itself.
It's at a very typical location, towards the front of the house, 5 feet off the street, right on the property line. That's where you'll find the meter. It's a city meter and a city box. Also has a city valve inside of there. It all belongs to the municipality or the city. They don't mind in an emergency situation if you do use that valve. They want you to try the first scenario first, using the private valve. But if that doesn't work, you've got an emergency, you've got to get the water off. So they make this key. This is a good thing for you to have on hand in your home. They sell these at all the box stores. You can get this. It's called a valve key. This matches the slot that's on the valve that's down in the box from the city. They all are the same way. So this simply slides over it, and then you give this a turn, quarter to the right, and that will turn off your water.
Are these boxes, are they sometimes hard to find?
The boxes can be hard to find if landscaping has been overgrown, or sometimes they get them too deep when they set them and the dirt gets over them. Now they have smart meters, so they don't have to actually look in them anymore. They simply go by with their reader and read them. So they can be hard to find. It's again another good thing for you as a homeowner to know where that meter box is in the unlikely event that you do have to go to that extreme to turn the water off. But it does give you another option.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the valve itself.
Okay, great.
Okay, at the meter box itself, assuming this is yours, so you found yours, and time to open it up and see what we got, right?
The lid just lifts off. It's got a little clip in there that holds it down, but it's got a hole here for you to put your finger in. Wear a glove when you do that, because you never know what little critters might be in there.
Sure.
So put your glove on, grab it.
Some cockroaches.
Never know. Pull it out, and then inside of here you'll find the meter. On the house, on the street side, not the house side, but the street side, is where you'll find the shutoff valve. And that valve is...
Which is this guy right here?
Right, that's this valve right here is it. You can see how it's slotted to match the slots on here.
Perfect.
And that is to shut down the meter. You simply put it on and you give it a spin. This tool is designed to mirror up with the valve that's in there. You can see it slides right over the slot. You put it on there, you give it a quarter turn to the right, and that will shut down the water. And now you have got isolated water. You can get a plumber, which I recommend now, to come fix the two problems you have, the broken valve at your home and the issue that's going on.
Yeah. So if you need help, call us. Go to missionac.com. Happy to help.